Alright, what is up everyone? This is going to be Inori's jungle tier list for patch 12.18. This tier list is real fresh. I'm talking straight out of the oven freshness. So some picks still yet to be analyzed, but there are some new faces to this tier list, and let's just get right into it. So for S++, if you've been keeping up to the patch notes, Rek'Sai got a nerf. The queen herself has been nerfed to the ground. Just kidding. She's still pretty much the same god or queen that she was before. 3 AD off her base AD was the nerf, and I personally, after playing her 5, 6 games, even destroying Worlds players with her, I just think she's literally the exact same. Maybe like a tiny little nerf, but she's still probably one of the best junglers on the patch. And right next to her, the real culprit, the one who should have been nerfed last patch, who's still not nerfed. Honestly, guys, if you're not playing Bell right now, you're just missing out on some free LP. I'm telling you right now, so free, so easy. Just build Kraken Slayer into Death Stance every time and mix it in Blade when you're really ahead. You're going to become an unkillable goddamn god. The Void junglers are here and they're the best junglers on the patch. Definitely hope they nerf Bell in the future because right now I'm just so sick and tired of playing against her. S plus plus AP. So these AP champions, the one that's new is the Echo pick. Echo got buffed recently and played him one game. I will say I did win, so my opinion is very biased. But looking at stats and also watching a couple other people play, I do think he's actually quite strong. I think the buffs were enough to slightly push him into more, like OP tier character territory. So I do think Echo is a nice pick right now, and I do like him. Currently, he wasn't even that bad before, but now I actually think he might be a very strong pick. So Echo for sure, the new face. Elise still the best ganking AP jungler in the game. If you're trying to play for that play style of snowballing the game, going for those early aggressive dives and early ganks, she's so fantastic. A lot of times the jungle role, the position isn't so much to farm, but it is to affect the lanes. And Elise, she just does that so much better than other junglers. Next to Diana, I still think Diana is probably one of the best AP junglers on the patch. She's not as OP as she was before. Either now you can go for the Protobelt build or the Nashor's, Sunfire build, still fine. Whatever you like. Personally, I think Diana's still very strong. She's my go-to AP jungle because she just farms so quickly still. Next to Fiddle. Fiddle is the one-trick AP jungler. He is still pretty OP. I don't know why Riot hasn't nerfed him because there's not enough players playing him. But if you do put in the time to learn him, his double camping and all that stuff, you will have a good time because he is such a fantastic AP jungler. Very great pick overall, so I highly recommend him. S plus champions, a couple new faces here. Actually, they're all pretty much new except for Udyr. Hecarim, I do even seen him more. I do recommend you guys go try Triforce on Hecarim. Recently, I've been doing more Conquer with Triforce and Death Stands, kind of build Frozen Heart, stuff like that. And I have a lot of success doing it, so I highly recommend you guys try that one. Not so much Divine Thunder anymore. Triforce definitely feels a lot better. Next one we have Maokai. Maokai, dude, I'm telling you right now, Maokai is so good. If you guys put the time into learning how to do his first clear, watch my videos. If you put in the time into actually knowing how to team fight him, watch my videos. You're going to have such a good time playing Maokai jungle. I think he's such a great pick. He's being played at Worlds a lot, but I also think he's a very strong solo queue jungler because if you know how to play him, his CC, his team fighting, his control of brushes is so much better than a lot of other champions. So definitely try Maokai out. He's not that hard. He's a great pickup if you're looking for an easy jungler to play after a couple games. Next one we have Zac. Zac is more of a one-trick jungler, but the more I see Zac, the more I'm convinced that this champion is very unstable. He's very OP. He's very disgustingly strong. Like he just does so much damage as an AP thread. So he could just be an AP jungler too. I mean, he does mostly magic damage. He does damage as a carry, but also tanks as much damage as a Maokai would too. So he's extremely strong. I highly recommend if you guys would like that kind of play style, you give him a try, learn his clear, learn his early game, and then you'll definitely have a great time playing him. Next one we have Udyr. Udyr is still pretty consistent. He's been nerfed a little bit, but I still think he's a well-rounded jungler. If you're trying to pick up jungle, but you want something straightforward, just put in some time into Udyr. He's a very solid pick. He does the front line well. He's a very good dueler. His Phoenix form's still really strong when you go for the ulti form. So he's still a very good and well-rounded jungler, Mr. Homeless Udyr. Next, we have S plus AP. These are generally the good average ones that I recommend to people. If you're playing them already, they're still pretty good. Karthus, I would rate him higher, but like It's hard to say because I think Karthus is not as strong as the top contenders. He is good in the right hands. He can be probably one of the best junglers in the game, but it's very few the ones that can pilot the Karthus that well and hit that many Qs. Personally, I don't like recommending Karthus too because I think my Q finger gets so tired playing Karthus, so I wouldn't recommend him to anyone else. I don't want you guys getting carpal tunnel too. Do not go for Karthus unless you're already playing him, but he is a pretty solid champion. Mordekaiser is a little strange. I actually think he's just really strong as a champion, and when you put him in the jungle role, you're able to just kind of influence the map without having to, stay in a lane and just get ignored pretty much. But Mordekaiser is a big threat. He's a good AP jungler. There are some clears you can learn about him, and then once he gets the ball rolling, his clear speed does increase a lot. Lilia is in a weird spot. I think she's okay. If you're ready players, yes, she's still good. So just continue playing her. You're gonna have a great time. There's nothing more to it. She's a pretty average AP jungler, is how I would say. She is better than most of the ones below for sure, but she is still in that average tower. She's so fragile. A deer, a fawn. She so requires too much. She's fragile, like a shard of glass. She will crack and fall apart. So not the best overall in this meta where people just delete you pretty fast. So Evelyn's just the demon, the demon girl. God, the way she looks too. She is still pretty strong in the right hands. She's a one-trick champion, so I don't recommend her to people unless you're trying to one-trick her. Though her damage is quite insane. The problem is her early game isn't that impactful, and you're in a meta where your early game is one of the most important things in the game. So if you're not impacting the game very well early game, you're not going to get that many wins. So I don't recommend her unless you know how to actually hard carry, but she is worth it if you're trying to, really go for the long term here and one trick her for a very long time. You're trying to get in with the Widow. She might make you a Widow too. Who knows? Next, S minus. So these are just, good, edgy E-boy champions. Master Yi used to be the best. He used to be S plus plus category, but the E nerfs does actually lower a lot of his damage. So I lowered him to, just S minus to keep the Master Yi fans just really going. But overall, I think he's just pretty decent. He's a good pick. S minus are good picks. These junglers are great. They're good if you actually put the time to learn. Rengar, that's my boy, but he is a one-trick jungler. So unless you actually put like 500 games into him, you're not going to be smurfing like the ones you want to be smurfing like. But he's a good jungler. He's always has moments where he can just completely destroy the enemy team. So it's up to you to really capitalize on those. He's great for aggressive players. Next one we have Graves. So Graves is actually OP, but he's OP in high elo. So like Masters up, he generally gets a higher win rate. Low elo, he's not that good. Average middle pack elo, like below diamond, he's honestly not that good. So unless you know how to carry hard on him and you have good mechanics, you can't really get the most out of this champion. So that's why he's much lower on my tier list. But the S minus is still pretty good. So he's still a decent pick if you know how to kind of utilize some of his strengths. Kane has gotten nerfed much. Kane has gotten nerfed pretty recently, and overall, I only like him in this tier because I think he's a good one trick because he's always been a decent spot in the game. And his clear is just very good. But in the future, in PBE, in preseason, they're going to change jungle clear, so almost any jungler will be healthy while clearing. So maybe there are going to be a lot more options to one trick different junglers than champs like Kane, but Kane is a good well-rounded jungler if you want to play that kind of style. He is easy to play too, to get through the clear and stuff like that. So overall, it's still a good pick. I don't think he's that great. So if you're trying to pick him up thinking you're going to climb LP, not going to happen. There are much better picks. I recommend some of the S plus champions if you're trying to climb for LP. Next, we have Yi. All right, we already covered that. Never mind. Next to it, we have the pick to lose champions. So these champions, I just want to put them there so you guys have a visual idea of what not to pick because you're trying to lose. I have a lot of guys. I see their match histories, those OP.GGs, and I see there's a 40% win rate Lee Sin as their most played jungler. Why are you doing that? Tell me, why do you pick Lee Sin? Why are you 40% win rate, 170 games in gold playing Lee Sin? I don't understand. And then you ask me, Inori, why am I not winning? Why are you picking Lee Sin? It doesn't make sense. You should play something else. I don't know. People pick hard champions expecting to climb. These are terrible champions to pick to climb. Wukong actually was an OP pick, but now he's absolutely trash. Riot decided no more Wukong jungle, no more for Wukong for Worlds. So if you're a Wukong main jungle, don't do it anymore. There are much better picks for sure. Gragas, he's drunk. He's always drinking. If he got his habit together, he might actually be a good pick. But so far, he's just too inconsistent. I think the Predator nerfs were the ones that sealed the deal for Gragas. But yeah, he could be good in different situations. But I'm not a big fan of Gragas, to be honest. Poppy got nerfed too, so don't pick her anymore. Her jungle clear is super bad. She can't even clear anymore. Big bait there. Do not get baited by that. And those are the pick to lose champions. Do not pick them. Just visualize not to pick them, and you're gonna do great. All these other junglers are so much better. Just pick the ones I said, the S ones, and you'll be great. So I hope you guys like that tier list. Gonna round it off with a little outro. Be sure to follow if you haven't followed already. Catch my streams, twitch.tv/Inori. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if I missed your champion, let me know in the comments below, and I'll get back to you of what I think about your champion and why I think it's bad or good or whatsoever. See you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Have a good night and take care.